Yo, what's going on, everybody? This your boy Scoop. This is Seth with the Lion's Den. I want to welcome y'all. Before we go too deep into the show, I want y'all to understand what we do. This is a time just to reiterate because I appreciate y'all being here. We all appreciate y'all being here, but there's so many things that's out there that is contrary to what you need to hear. Now, we may not say all the things that you want to hear, which is cool, but understand it's coming from the right place. So with that being said, make sure you're getting the greatest and the most pertinent information for you and your people. With that being said, take the time to share this because you, somebody that may look like you or someone that believe in you may need this information. So we're going to see y'all in a minute.
On the Lion's Den with Seth.
You got to feel what's inside. Don't let them take you for a fool now. Don't let them take you for a ride.
Welcome to the world, young soul, where untold adventures unfold. Where the moon shine and the sun glow. Plant seeds and see what grows. Water your garden with wishes and dreams. Free like a fish in the sea. But listen to me, not everyone listens to dreams. Some hearts are skipping a beat.
Yo, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is the Lion's Den. No matter where you are, you're here right now. We want to give y'all a shout out. What's going on, Big Nate? What it is, what's going on? KC, what's going on, brother? Hopefully everybody's doing good. Hey, Will, how you feeling, bro?
What's going on? It's the time again. Ready to get it in, man. Hey, thanks for everybody tuning in. Make sure you guys share. Hey, this is the type of show that we're going to do with this gentleman coming on, and you know it's about to be straight 100. Coming to you from the Chi-Town, so you know it's going down. Let's go.
Already. Yo, this dude sound like a radio DJ. He trying to take my job. You mean? Yo, what's up, Herm? How you feeling?
My man Will got real slick with it,
didn't he?
Rhyming and everything, man.
Chugging the job.
Hey, man, everything is good over here. Titans still undefeated, so you know that's a good thing. Yo, but have you checked out Lovecraft Country though?
Man, hold on. I was gonna ask you, have you checked out?
You checked that? Hey, man, looking at people. I swear, if somebody spit on me, it's gonna be a problem.
Man, hey, look, when I saw that, but see, you got to remember, man, those times. It's like you know what you wanted to do, but you know, man, he would have hung your ass so there by your toes, by your neck, by your
people, go ahead and watch that show. Like on Seth's page talked about it. They do have a lot of nuggets in there for you to pay attention, you know what I'm saying, and observe. It's a wild show. I highly recommend. And I want to give a shout out. This month, October, is Domestic Violence Awareness Month. So be wary of that. You know what I mean? Know your people and know if they're in trouble and what's going on. I mean, I know sometimes it seems like you're just prying into people's business, but it's just generally caring. You can't save everybody, but, be aware what's going on around you.
Yeah, absolutely. And those out there, look, it's a tough situation. We do understand that, but if you do need help, there is places that you can go and places that you can call. And as a matter of fact, I want to take time out to put this up here. For those of you that need to talk to someone, if you're in a uncomfortable situation, you understand, you know what that situation is. All right. If you know what it is and you know that you don't want to be there, make sure you give these individuals a call. That number is 1-800-799-SAFE. All right. 1-800-799-7233. But it's about that time. Look, ladies and gentlemen, look, last time we had this brother on, when we had this brother on, we got it in so good, and we didn't even have enough time to continue the conversation. And since then, he was here at Scott, and then this brother then soared off, right, doing big things in the big blue. Ladies and gentlemen, I want y'all to give a good, nice round of applause for your boy, our Chief Woods. Look at that boy. Throwback. Chief, what it is, brother? How you feeling?
Hey, man, I'm back in the Lions Den, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, we started out, man. You know, we didn't came up a little bit since the last time on both ends. So y'all know I'm a big fan of the show. I love that y'all have it on here. We gonna keep it real, man.
Always 100. But man, listen, I want to thank you though, seriously, for being a part of us, humble beginnings, you know what I'm saying, but still keeping it authentic, especially for the airmen, right?
Yes.
Because we've had a lot of conversations off the mic and in corners, you know, but just talking real. And I knew when I first met you, I was like, you know what? This is the type of energy that's needed, man. So congratulations. Look at this lane. You see what he's doing? You see what he's doing? But seriously though, man, I want to give you big ups, man, and continue to do great things. It's the reason why we wanted you to come back here on the Den. What you got, Herm?
Chief Throwback, one of my favorite people to talk to.
Yeah.
Got a question for you. I mean, the last time we talked to you, you was a group chief, which is big in its own right. But now you moved up, you know, to the tip of the spear over there at Kunsan. You're the command chief for that area. I'm pretty sure you've been prepping for this position, but let's talk about what was the biggest thing you learned about the step from group chief to command chief? What surprised you the most about that transition?
Bro, man, really not a whole lot, man. I tell you, man, like being a command chief, man, you like the mayor, bro. So I'm like walking around, you know, I'm kissing babies, I'm shaking hands, I'm hanging out with everybody. So that part wasn't really hard. I think the biggest part for me that was challenging was like, you know, understanding you like somewhat of a public figure. You know, we had some stuff going on the internet, man, and I was getting a million messages from people, and I'm like, man, like they need to give us some media training or something. But man, I was catching some spares, bro.
Yeah,
spares. I'm like, man, like I was just ducking and dodging them, you know, and trying to take care of the people out here. But man, it's easy. Be honest with you, like it's not hard at all. Like I always say, y'all hear from me all the time, man. You come into these positions and you just be yourself, man.
So I'm glad you said that, man. And this is why we have you on, because you've been over there since all this crazy shit has been going down, right? And individuals that look like you and that don't look like you are still feeling this somehow, some way from the COVID and then also the civil unrest. So how do you, especially being the mayor, you feel me? How do you have those uncomfortable conversations at the position that you're in and still be authentic?
Well, I tell you, man, first off, man, like I'm just blessed, bro. Like I'm in a position where I can influence change, you know, and I can talk to people, you know, in those critical positions when like the world, I would say the military, but the world is hungry for change. So I was telling my wife, and my wife was like, you've been preparing your whole life to be advising, you know, people in influential positions, you know, for things like this. But for me, it was very emotional, man. Like I was in quarantine when everything started to kind of really bubble. And I was like, you know, getting a lot of messages from a lot of people that I mentor. And they were like, what you gonna do? What you gonna say? And be honest with you, I was kind of formulating how I wanted to communicate, you know, this, because I was extremely emotional. And my old man always told me, when you're emotional, don't speak, you know, speak when you can get your mind right. So the good thing for me is I was in quarantine and I can kind of get my thoughts together. Then I reached out to a few other mentors. I'm like, man, I want to at least tell these cats, like I'm Ronnie Woods, I'm your command chief, before I dive into a real important topic. And then my wing commander, who got a very different background than me, kind of hit me up because he ain't know what to do. And I was like, look, your silence means you accept everything that's going on. I know you don't want to do it, but you got to get out and speak. And then we got out there, we spoke, we did just really just getting after it, man. And it opened a lot of people eyes up to a lot of stuff that go on in the military. Because a lot of people don't even know, like even in the military, people think that, you know, like everything's perfect, but it's far from perfect. And we just got out there, we got after it, we developed some programs. We empowered the people that's passionate about it, those grassroots efforts really out there making a difference. And we ain't where we want to be at, be 100% honest with you, but we getting there, man.
Yeah, you're right. We are. Well, look, we're about to dive in, ladies and gentlemen. We got throwback Ronnie Woods up in the building. You know what I'm talking about? Even with that bull sweater on, it's all good.
Come on, man. You know the West Side got to represent when I'm in the Lions Den.
Already. But look, hey, look, before we get too deep up in there, of course, we got to give a special shout out to our sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't know by now, you need to know about Miss Tracy Brown, ladies and gentlemen. Tracy Brown, look, if your credit ain't right, and you know if your credit ain't right, if it's in the 2s, 3s, maybe 4s, and possible 5s, right, looking like a bad spades hand, make sure you give Tracy Brown a call. Her number is 618-560-3687. She can help you to get your credit to where it needs to be. Also, it's all about that buying power. It's not about how much cash you have. It's about how much cash that individuals can trust you with. So to help you out, to get where you need to be and to get that financial literacy, make sure you give her a call. One more time, the number is 618-560-3687. Give Tracy a call, y'all. Straight up. Now, getting back in, y'all. So, man, Ronnie, brother, we was on the phone that day, right?
Yeah.
Yo, we was venting, man. And I mean, I'm talking real shit, though. I mean, for real. Because, like, I know you was mad. I was mad. I'm like, what? I felt convicted myself. And so you came to my mind because I was like, I know he feel how I'm feeling. So I guess the question is, can you take a little minute and express what was going on through your mind, knowing the position that you were in, and there was individuals that felt the same way, but you had to tailor the message the correct way. Can you talk about that?
Well, I tell you, man, so extremely emotional, man, extremely emotional. And be honest with you, when it comes to stuff like that in the position that I was in, like you kind of in a real lonely position, man. So shout out to you for reaching out to me, bro, because you know, I was talking to my wife about a lot of that stuff, but I really, be 100% honest with you, I didn't know what to do because I want to come out just guns a-blazing. Like that's what my heart wanted me to do. Like my heart wanted me to just come out and be like, look, man, this is how I feel. Either you with me or you against me. But like I told you, like that 14-day quarantine for me was a blessing because I just got to sit back and just strategize. I got to sit back and strategize. I got to sit back and really think about a vision, you know, that I wanted to give, you know, everyone here for the year I was going to be here. And I formulated that whole vision just sitting in here, kind of how I want to play it out, you know. And then once I did that, you know, I kind of left out of here with a clear mind, a clear head. And when we had our first town hall, you know, we had a town hall and it was packed, bro. I know we had Corona going on, but I mean, like, it was full capacity and everybody wanted their voices to be heard. And I just set the tone in the room and just kind of explained that story to them. Like I told you all that I was just extremely emotional, you know, every emotion you could think about, bro. I felt it, man. I was pissed. I was mad. I was sad. I was everything. And just kind of bottled that all up, explained that to everybody, explained to them they could speak their mind, you know. And when we did that, you know, got a lot of messages from a lot of the people on base because representation is important, you know. And
Always.
I understand, you know, the value of representation, and me speaking on it kind of gave them all like the confidence to speak on it. Mm-hmm. And they wasn't holding back at all. And I loved it, man.
That's
I
dope.
loved it, man. Even my boss caught a couple spears. He didn't even deserve them. He was just getting started,
Right.
but he caught a couple strays, because they felt like he took too long to respond. He was in quarantine with me, they felt like he took too long to respond. We actually responded in quarantine.
Wow.
Like we responded, like we did our response like in quarantine. Like we did a little video, where we just, told everyone, we don't condone that crap, and we about to get after it, and it ain't gonna end. It's gonna be a continuous thing. So
That's good. All right. So Big Will, I know you got questions over there, so we gotta give him a second to get his his net together. You ready?
Yes, sir.
Man, yo, that shit's so delayed,
Oh,
man.
are we hearing me?
Like it's running off a
Oh,
diesel. Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
my man Will in the dungeon out there,
Man,
bro.
you would think he's in Afghanistan right now.
know,
So he right
right?
down the street.
I know he around the corner. What is you doing? Bro, like you get dial up. Hold on, wait. I think he's sending this question. All right, he said he'll wait. All right, go ahead, Herm. What you got, bro?
Hey, Chief.
Yo,
Way back when I was still in the military, you know what I'm saying? I remember working with people that didn't really believe, you know what I'm saying, that we had an issue in the Air Force, right?
right.
And the position that I worked in, I worked in, as you know, the IG office at the command level.
Yeah.
And to me, that's pretty detrimental, you know what I'm saying, that they don't want to put any thought into, no, we don't really have that issue. But when they're in front of people, they got to toe the line, right? And I'm pretty sure at higher levels that you work at, you kind of see that too, that deep down inside that they don't really believe that there's an issue, but they try to toe the line.
Yeah.
Do you think what do you think about that? Do you think that we can move forward if the thought process is they really don't believe it, but they're trying to push forward with it anyway? Or do you think that you really got to buy into the issue in order to solve it?
Well, first off, man, that's toting the line. Like for anybody out there that's listening to me, stop toting the line, man. Pick a side, man. Like, like when it comes to this is something that you can't tote the line in. Either you with and you for everybody having a sense of belonging and being true to their truest self, or you're not. Like you can't be toting the line, and being afraid to speak on yourself and do those things. But also, for the ones who out there, who feel like it's not an issue, it's up to us to educate them on, our experiences, educate them on the things that's going on. It's crazy, man. Like even here, man, I seen some crazy stuff here, man. Like, like cats, like right when we was in the middle of it, we had like some airmen around here, like wearing like Confederate flag t-shirts. We had individuals that was claiming to be, like in the KKK.
Wait. Hold on. Wait. Where?
Here at Kunsan.
Wait. They were okay. Wait a minute.
Oh man, good thing Airman Brown wasn't out there.
No,
Bruh, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I'm still trying to wrap my mind around this. This is over in Korea.
in Korea. Yeah, but we got to remember though, like the military is a microcosm of society, man.
True.
Like when these young airmen come into the military and when they go to basic training, they grew up in the environment they grew up in, and you got to understand that. Like so you look at us, it's a lot of good people, right, in the United States. It's some people that might be racist. It's some people that grew up in these environments. And then they come in the military, right? And they still have that in them, and they still working through that.
Mm-hmm.
So when you have a kid who's walking around, and got like a Confederate t-shirt on, like I don't look at them and want to swing on them when I see them. Maybe a little bit inside I do.
Hey,
maybe a little bit. Maybe a little bit.
That's all you need, though. But you come back to reality. But we
I come back. I was just questioning his judgment. I'm like, I know you know what the hell going on right now. I know, man. You got to be under a rock to not know what's going on right now.
It's like they want to extra wear it.
Yes, they wanted the conflict, you know.
See, and I think that's the issue because individuals know what they're doing. They want to see how you're going to respond. It's
right.
You know what I'm talking about?
Right.
Ain't that bitch? Well, look, hold on, look. So I got something from Will. Now he can't really talk, right? So he typed it. So he said, Chief, thanks for stepping back into the den with us. He was like, can you explain the importance to other leaders on why we have to not only keep the conversation going, but to also develop actions to eliminate these negative environments?
Well, here's the thing, man. It's important to keep the conversation going, but it's more important to be true to yourself, right? So if you haven't been out here, you know, really communicating and doing those things, like don't try to just jump off on the deep end, you know, and go there and get involved with these very complex situations. What I advise them on is just to educate themselves, you know, get with people who really understand it and educate them. And if you can't get out there, just empower the ones that's passionate about it.
And so, and I'm glad that you said that, man, because I do want to talk about this a little bit. If you can explain your opinion on this fact.
Right.
It's true to connect with individuals that's passionate, but also before we go out and talk to people, we need to talk to us.
Yes.
That makes sense, right? Because just because individuals are passionate, they may not know how to articulate themselves well. And then that will put us in a situation where we can't talk about it. But we have to talk around the shit, if you get what I'm saying. Now, don't get me wrong, not saying that what individuals were saying was wrong, but they have to say it. It's unfortunate that we have to say it in the right way, because now individuals that may be open to hear your side or to learn, now you're shutting them out based off of the vernacular that you're using. So what do you think about that?
It goes back to what I said, man. You can't be emotional. Like, you can't be emotional. You got to be able to speak with some thought. You got to be able to articulate things in a way that everybody can understand. You know, you can be passionate about things and not be emotional, you know, because the whole intent of it is really to educate someone who might not understand what you're going through. And then you can also understand, you know, their perspective. And again, it's about perspective, because when it comes to racism and things like that, like, you either with us or you against us. From my perspective, it's like, it's zero tolerance, man.
Right.
100-0. You got to pick a side, you know, but you're not going to get anything accomplished by just being mad.
Right.
You're not going to get nothing accomplished by doing that.
Nothing.
So like with me here at the wing, like, I really focused on just giving a vision, and I wanted to empower the young people to really just get out there and get after it, man. And the ones who were really like extremely emotional about things, like, I be honest with you, I ain't want them on a team, man. I wanted them to get themselves together first. But the ones who really was out there just understanding how to communicate, understanding how to get things done, you know, I basically gave them the position of the command chief office to go out there and make things happen. And I'm so proud of like what we've done here at the wing and all the wings, you know. Like, again, for me, I'm blessed because I'm in a position where I can influence change when the military is ready. And we doing it. We chipping away at it every day. You know, do we got all the right answers? No, we don't. This stuff is unprecedented, what we're doing.
Right.
You know, it's not something where you're gonna find a checklist and you're gonna be able to work through it. Because we swung and we missed a couple times. Hey, I'll be honest with you, we swung and we missed, but we was swinging.
It's like with the Cubs.
Really cared about. We was trying, you know, we was trying, and we was getting after some things. I tell you, we did an email response one time, man, and they weren't feeling that, yo.
Wait, what you mean? What was that?
Like, we basically sent the email out, kind of addressing the issue.
No.
They weren't feeling that. No, they weren't feeling that.
No, hell no.
They weren't feeling that. They weren't feeling that. They want to see our faces.
Yes.
They want to see our faces, you know, because typing it out, that's the easy route. But putting yourself in a sense of vulnerability, putting yourself in the arena where, people can understand, either you're comfortable or you're not comfortable. Because me, I was cool as a fan. My boss, he wasn't sure how to react to things. And I wanted him to see that. I'm like, that's good. That's good. Like show your truest self, be true to yourself, and just show some compassion, show some empathy towards the situation so that you want to be educated and you don't know the answer.
It's like breaking up over a text. You can't do that.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
It's
right.
easy. Hey, this
right.
just wasn't working out. You it's not you, it's me. You know what I mean?
Right.
But you gotta get face to face to have that real closure, to have that real connection. I feel you.
Right.
Yeah, man, it's solid. It's solid. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, you know where you are right now. You're in the den. Hopefully you're enjoying yourself and you're enjoying this evening. We got the throwback Chief Woods on, and for some reason this cornball keep sipping out of us damn cup. You know what I'm saying? Look, we give them
when you undefeated.
Hey, school, man. Hey, Herm, man. Tell your boys to chill out on the COVID, man. They messing my fantasy football.
As long as we have COVID, we'll stay undefeated.
Hey.
Man, y'all killing me, man.
Bro, look, yo, man, you out of line. All right, so yeah. All right, here we go. Look, shameless plug. Yo. All right, so we got
is he talking about me? He's talking about getting me on you.
Shut up. No, hey, brother.
I'm a throwback, man.
We're gonna get you on, man. We're gonna get you on. Hey, I guess we're gonna have to wait till another holiday. You know what I'm talking about? Because I know you get up early and all this other stuff. But
I'm waiting on the invite, bro. Now, damn that, man.
All right, you ready? I'm inviting you right now. You ready?
You know I'm ready. I'm ready, man.
I know.
I'm just waiting on the invite, man. Everybody been telling me, why haven't I been on Us Mentoring Us? I'm like, man, what I'm doing out here,
You see how you doing this shit? Ain't nobody come. Why you ain't been up for real?
Man, probably have.
Man, shut up. Ain't nobody.
Come on, man.
Yo, you coming, bro. We got you. Hey, but look, y'all. Hey, before we go into the second part, we got to get it in with our sponsors. All right. You know where you at. Take some time. Please share this because there's individuals that can use this. Okay. Stop acting funny style. We'll be right back. Monique Slater is a top negotiating, award-winning real estate agent in San Antonio, Texas. Her focus is on educating and empowering individuals on building generational wealth through home ownership while providing exceptional service with integrity and excellence. Although her heart is for serving first-time home owners and the military community, her clientele ranges from $100,000 to $2.5 million. Monique has developed an awesome team that can get individuals into a home. Mention you heard this ad on the Lion's Den with Seth and get a $500 rebate from Monique at closing. After servicing in the Air Force for over 28 years, retired Chief Slater has a massive network so she can connect you with an awesome agent anywhere in the U.S., and your referral will get a special gift card from Monique. If you're in the San Antonio area or relocating there, give Monique a call first to help you find your dream home. Her number is 210-237-7268. One thing we can cherish during these times is family dinners. Think about it, the nice, succulent southern fried chicken, baked beans cooked to perfection, creamy macaroni and cheese, cornbread. You get the point. Come check out Kevlar's Grill, where all the meals are cooked with perfection, professionalism, and love. Located outside the Scott Air Force Base back gate inside the VFW is where you can find them. Also, they have military discount for all of our serving members. Give them a call. Their number is 618-416-5700, and that's inside Scott VFW Post 4183. And they also have Grubhub. Call them now and tell them that the Lion's Den sent you. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Look, welcome back to the Lion's Den. Listen, hey, we've been watching these chats in the background. Hey, look, hey, yo, we got Chief Woods on, right? Throwback Woods up in the building. right? You know what I'm saying? And ladies and gentlemen, he took the time out to wake up extra early for us. He getting it in over in Korea right now. We're talking about and we talking about continuing the talk. All right. Especially being in a position, there's a lot of I guess tension still, and then there's a lot of energy that's trying to keep the conversation or kind of muffle it. You get what I'm saying? But this is what we're talking about and how you can have or continue this conversation at a higher level. So it's not just in the military, it's no matter where you are. Because your voice matters. Keep that in mind, ladies and gentlemen. I know not everyone that's listening to this in the military, maybe prior, or don't know anything about this, but you have a voice and your feelings are valid. So, but brother, we got this question. All right, we got this question here. It says, what was your approach, right, when people didn't want to change?
Well, for me, be honest with you, I haven't experienced that, because of my position, nobody is really being upfront and honest with me, when they want to change. But I will tell you, like, if somebody came to me, and they didn't want to change, first thing I'm gonna try to strive for is perspective. I'm gonna try to dive into how they see things and really try to tap into why they in a position that they in where they don't want to change, because this ain't an issue where we're talking about anything that is not a problem, like racism. Like, you either with us or you not, and I think a lot of people, maybe don't want to change. Now, as you go into the position where you ain't really diving into racism, and you might be diving into, something that's a little bit more debatable on, like, should the military be, or the Air Force should be approaching it the way we are, where we've been putting a lot of emphasis on education. We've been doing a lot of town halls. We've been doing facilitated training. We've been doing all the Facebook lives, all of that stuff. Do some people out there feel like we doing too much? I'm pretty sure it is, but I haven't heard anything. I'm pretty sure people at lower levels hear it. And again, if my advice to them, don't be upset. Try to get some perspective on where they're coming from, and tell them exactly why you feel the way you feel. One of the things that I've been working on of late as we continue this conversation, because this is a continuous thing, like it had a lot of momentum, from May to about August, and things were starting to die down a little bit. I would tell you, to continue the conversation, we got to continue to focus on having those small group discussions, educating our folks on how to facilitate, these difficult conversations, going into training, and really focusing on some things that's been going on for a very, very, very long time.
Absolutely.
It's not a black and white thing. Like, I know I'm giving you my story. So my story is the kid from the west side of Chicago, who had a white supervisor, who didn't understand where I came from, and who was disciplining me when they needed to be mentoring me. That's my story, but it's a lot of different stories out there, and I encourage people, to give their stories. I've heard all types of stories. I've heard a lot of stories from Latinos, from Asians, from people in Europe, when it comes to like this diversity and inclusion thing, economic status, it's something that, sometimes people don't feel the way they want to feel. Your job, like the job you're doing in the military, you have the haves, you have the have-nots, you have officer, you have enlisted, you have gender. Gender is a real big one. You have all of these things. So when I be mentoring the young people out there, I tell them, like, look, it might have started out with like a black and white thing, with cops and civil unrest, but open this discussion up to everything else, because out there, it's a lot of people out there that feel like they don't have a sense of belonging and they can't be their truest self. So that's always been my vision, as a chief. I want to create an environment that has a sense of belonging and where you can be your truest self.
Right.
Be your truest black self, like your truest self, we've been doing that and we've been chipping away at it, and it's been good.
Yo, and I appreciate you for that. And I'm gonna get with you in 1 second, Herm. They want to give a shout out to Chief Hemingway, what she call it? She's Slay Queen, right? She
Oh yeah,
Right.
Slay Queen.
bro, she be getting it. But listen, so she
Yeah.
said, we get lied to all the time. Got the beat. She said, got the beat feet and make rounds across the wing to get ground level truth. Yo, that's true. That's real true. And you know what, man, real talk. I think that in my situation, what I've seen, a lot of individuals hide behind the uniform in there. And so they use that as a protective mechanism to have not real authentic talk, but just say, hey, well, you know what, just focus on your job. How can I focus on my job when this is affecting me in my job? But that's a rhetorical, statement. What you got, Big Herm?
Hey, first I want to address, you said it's Chief Hemingway?
Yeah.
See, that's what I love about today's Chiefs, man. It's like so much Slay Queen. You know what I'm saying? Chief Throwback. You know what I mean? It's just so much relatability, and you know what I'm saying? You feel like you could talk to these Chiefs when they show that side. Even the command chief now with all their Kansas City Chief, not command chief, but the Chief Master on the Air Force right now with all her Kansas City Chief stuff. They show that they're relatable, man, that you can talk to them. So, hey, Chief Throwback, I appreciate y'all for that. You know what I'm saying? Leading the charge and showing people, hey, we're at this level, but we're still, accessible and ready to talk to you. But one thing I want to clarify is when we talk about with us or against us, the us, like a lot of people think it's a black problem, but it's not. You know what I mean? It's a us problem. You know what I mean? It's like it's in order for us to move forward, all of us gotta be on the same accord and on the same page. This is not like a black versus white thing. Is what I see plays out on social media all the time. Anytime somebody speaks out about an issue pertaining to black people, whether it be the cops or somebody else, certain white folks, for some reason, feel like it's an attack against them.
And they want to debate this shit. Right and wrong. It's not,
And they tell us that, hey, it's political. How is it political when we're dealing with people's lives? You know what I mean? It's not a political stance. It's a humanitarian stance. It's about humanity. Just wanted to get your opinion on that, Chief.
I got a very, very unique perspective on this. And I've talked to hundreds of people. I will tell you, y'all all know, I grew up in the inner city, parents had substance abuse issues. I struggled to get out of that environment. I got into the military. I was military police. So I see it from the perspective of a shoot, don't shoot situation. And I understand how, you can wake up and not sure if you're going to come home every day. My best friend, and he's black, is a cop in Chicago. So trust me, when every time he goes to work, I am extremely nervous, and I understand, shoot, don't shoot. You want to come home to your family and all of that, and then last but not least, I've been in an environment for 20 years where I've met people from all walks of life, so I understand those perspectives, but I've always felt that, it's important, just to really tap into where I'm coming from and encourage people, to have their perspectives on things, because it's weird, man. It's a very hard conversation. It's very challenging, but again, it's an ethical line, right or wrong. It's a compassionate issue. Where does your heart stand? You have this dynamic of people who hurt. Like if you really want to empathize with them, you need to just go to them and just show that you care. Like we don't need the email. We don't need the crazy responses. What we need is somebody to just say, I'm with you, man. I don't even know what to say, but I'm riding with you.
And that's the key, and I'm glad you said that, man, because I was thinking it's one thing if you have never been in this situation. You get what I'm saying? It's one thing, but how can you really function, seriously, and I mean consciously function, when someone is working right next to you that is literally broken inside? You did what I'm saying? Because regardless of what you have experienced, you have to have this type of trust from this individual, but you're not even able, not saying willing, because we don't know, but how can you, like I said, how can you function knowing that someone right next to you, arm distance, is crying inside? Now, first of all, that's just the civil unrest. Now you're dealing with single parents,
Right.
battling between homeschooling, but then their supervisor, if you will, is saying, well, you need to come to work. And then you get what I'm saying, but then now they hit, but my child is sick. They might have children that have immune deficiency issues. You get what I'm saying? But now they have that type of energy, so that's stress on top of stress. You get what I'm saying?
And
So
I tell you, man, perspective, yo. Like I had got this great analogy from an airman here. You know, they said, you know, a horse, when a horse is born, you know, they put blinders on the horse. They put some shades over the horse eyes, you know. So the horse doesn't know anything but just seeing darkness, you know, seeing darkness and only seeing it their way, you know. And I feel like, and then we train the horse up, you know, till they get to where they need to be. And I feel like that's like society as well, you know, like when you've been in an environment and you've only seen things one way, it's okay to not understand it from the other side. I have blinders on myself. Right. I would tell you, when we was dealing with the civil unrest thing, I had an Asian American NCO come to me and was like, you know, Chief, you know, I know that y'all heavily focused on the civil unrest, y'all heavily focused on this, but as Asian Americans, we going through a lot right now with coronavirus. You know, the coronavirus, you know, having this perception that it came from China.
Oh, I was just gonna ask that. Yeah.
Having this perception that it's coming from China, you know, like all of the racial slurs that his family was getting. They had a business back in the States, you know, and his family was having all these things happening to him. And he was like, I don't feel like you all care about us because you're talking about everything, but you ain't really talking about, you know, Asian Americans' perspective. And I looked at him and I was like, again, because I don't know those blinders, right? I'm giving you my perspective. Now you're giving me your perspective and you just open my eyes. And I'm like, wow, you know, I totally agree with that. And, you know, I need you to speak up. So just like I'm speaking up right now, I need everybody to speak up.
Yeah, you know, and say it with your heart and your chest, because this reminds me of September 11th. Remember that? There were individuals that no matter what, where they originally came from, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist, you're a terrorist. But we would let social media and TV tell us who our enemies are.
Yeah.
Do you hear what I'm trying to say? You can't let someone tell you who your enemy is. You feel? Let me get off of that. What you got, Herm, man? My bad.
We're talking about the Asian American thing, it just because I can relate. You know what I'm saying? I'm a black man with a Korean mother. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And so.
Oh man, he just did something that took off his internet. Damn, I knew that was gonna be good. But listen, we do got this one question. Okay. So, what is your son seeing in the Air Force right now?
Man, he ain't talked to me about that stuff yet, be honest with you. You know, when I talk to him, it's funny, you know, because when I talk about my perspective of being from the inner city, right? You know, seeing guns, drugs, violence.
About that life.
All he saw is bouncing from base to base, you know, knowing each and everybody and their perspectives, and not really understanding the challenges that the world can bring. Now, we were stationed in Louisiana and South Carolina, so he's seen some of that. Mm-hmm. But for him, he just been so prideful, you know, just to be an airman. You know, we haven't even had that conversation. Now, we had that conversation a lot when he was 17, you know, and when he was starting to drive and stuff like that. You know, I had to sit him down and be like, look, son, I know you might be naive to these things, but when you go certain places, you need to turn your music down. You know, when you get pulled over, you know, you gotta listen and follow commands and be very careful with those things. But since he's entered the Air Force, you know, we haven't had the conversation yet. We're gonna have it soon. again, he in those environments. Y'all remember it, man. He in tech school. He got about 5 minutes.
Mhm.
You know, he wanna take those.
You don't tell people his daddy the command chief.
Oh yeah, he do. They knew too.
Yeah.
They knew too. Like the military training instructors, he said that they said something to him when they was yelling at him and stuff like that, and I thought it was pretty funny.
Hey, but you know what? I think that's dope and it's real good, my man. And we've talked about this before, man. But it's hard when you want to talk to your son, like mine's 16, and it's like, shit, I don't know what to tell him that's gonna work. Because everything we try to say, you see someone else still getting the short end of the stick just by doing those exact things. So all you can do is say, listen, just do the best thing and act the best way possible that you can. But Herm, you was about to say something, bro, before you what happened, man? You ran out of minutes. What happened?
Man, I don't know what happened, man. Just cut off. But hey, I don't.
You blazed it, man, in your perspective.
Well, so the Asian American thing, right? And how and being a black man is kind of conflicting sometimes because you'll see those videos where the Asian person is beating up a black person for stealing in their store. And it gets real crazy, you know what I mean? So I sit back like, wow, okay. And I just not trying to get into that, but I do have a question about something that just recently happened in the Air Force.
Right.
The hair color change.
Bro,
I know that's gonna bring up some stuff, you know what I mean? Like I'm out of the Air Force now. I was in a little while ago, but now I know that they said something about the reg says you can wear your hair no matter what a natural hair color. It doesn't necessarily have to be natural to you. Am I saying that right, Chief?
Yep, you're saying it right. Like first off,
seeing
man,
problems coming up with that in the future?
come on, man. Look, now listen, hold on, wait. Before you say anything, listen, you know you on the den, so you can be possible. So don't say it as the chief, it's Ronnie, because look, we need to keep it real. We know some motherfuckers that's go push the envelope. They know damn well just because a Smurf got blue hair is natural, but it ain't natural for your ass. You see what I'm saying?
So be honest with you. They killing me, man. Stuff, man. They killing me, bro. I tell you, man, like, be honest with you. I've never been like an AFI Nazi. I've never been that dude. I've never been the dude and be like, man, his hair at 3.5 inches, or go to 4, I'm about to go holler. I'll be like, he ain't hurt nobody. I'm good. But when I saw that rule, I keep it 100 with you. All I started thinking about is like Cisco. Y'all remember Cisco? Like we about to have these cats walking around like Cisco, and it's cold,
bruh.
Cold. Hey, but it's funny. It's gonna be the same cat that don't know any of the AFIs, but
none. But they gonna know that one.
They gonna know that one. And here's the thing.
All the AFI, but that one.
Here's the thing: when the good stuff come out, man, everybody know about it. When the bad stuff come out, I gotta go door to door to tell it.
Bruh.
But but on the realness though, like I understand, from the Air Force perspective, they want people to be them truest selves, So if you want to walk out the crib and you want to look like Smurf and that's who you are, then that's okay. Like from a black perspective, from a black airman perspective, I had a shaving waiver my whole life. And so I was a master sergeant, and then I had a chief sit me down and he gave me he gave me the conversation. He was like,
he gave you the talk.
Yeah, he said, you going places, people only see that beard when they see you. I need you to chill out on the Rick Ross, and I need you to get with the program. And I did, and I wasn't happy about it, but I did it. And now with the way the rules are changing, you don't have to, like worry about that stuff no more.
It's a distraction from who
like
you really
even the part, man, like they jumped on that day one. I mean, I swear, I thought Cass was saying like that you can have a part, and they went straight to the barbershop.
Yeah.
Straight to the barbershop, and they got the cool part in their head and all of that.
I was having a conversation with someone too about this, and was like, so I understand. I don't know, maybe it was you, Herm, but it's like I kind of understand it because it's a little bit of retainability.
Yeah.
Right? Right. So if you have a stellar, sharp troop that hair might not look like whatever, they can still do their job and they're still professional, but you're hammering them about that. They can go elsewhere, right? Get double, if not triple the amount of money and can wear their hair any way they want to. So you have to kind of look at the change. And so when everything outside of the base or the gate, if you will, is changing, we have to adapt to that as well to a degree. But it's just, yo, you gonna go overboard with frosted tips. What the hell is a frosted tip?
I think the problem was, especially with all this racial stuff going on in the military, it's like, man, we got to stop trying to dictate what's natural for one and what's not natural for others. That's why I think they did it.
And professional too. I remember having a conversation. If you look up professional hair and unprofessional hair, the professional hair,
Google played us.
You see, you seen it. You seen it, Chief?
Yeah, I seen it, man. Again, those stereotypes, and looking at media, and what they portray, to be right or to be wrong. I think the biggest win, with the changes is the sisters' hair, man.
Yeah.
Like sisters can really wear their hair like the way they want to wear it now.
Yes.
Because the things they was asking them to do at times ain't natural.
It wasn't conducive. Right.
It wasn't natural, and they had to, do magic tricks just to walk out the door.
That's the change we needed right there. We needed that change.
Mm-hmm.
So
they couldn't wear dreads and stuff like that. Come on now.
So now, again, baby steps. We taking baby steps, man. We got some people in the right positions right now. I'm one of the ones that's in a position where I can influence change, but we have several people, at the Air Force level that's really like giving the ground truth data, on things that we can make change in. And the hair might seem like a small thing to a lot of people, but man, if you talk to a black female airman, like, man, that was a freaking Hail Mary we just got.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a big. I like that.
You're right. So, hey, look, shout out to Tracy. She says, I disagree with that, Seth. She says, we are an elite force, and that's what sets us apart, others and civilians, right? From others and civilians. We got to have high standards. And I agree. I do believe we need to have high standards, but I also know that there are individuals that look at those standards. They're still high, but are they realistic? Just like what you were saying, with African-American hair, with women's hair, it's like, yo, really? You see what I'm saying? So I think that it's our responsibility as being airmen and being leaders to help enforce, but then also look, not let this airman like push the envelope and looking crazy.
And the thing, like, so professional is a very subjective term, right?
Yes.
So it's a very subjective term. So you look at me and Herm, right? Mm-hmm. So I look professional, right? And from their perspective, because I'm cleanly shaved and this and that, and he has a beard, but it's a professional appearance. Like, why isn't that professional?
Because of gas mask. Because I can't wear my gas mask.
No, I wasn't.
That's some crap.
We can think gas mask or not, but it was just one of those things. That's how it's always been.
That's the thing.
And you have to evolve. You have to evolve, and allow people to be them truest selves. Like, people have a lot of issues, with shaving, and we need to create an environment where like when I was a master sergeant, I was pressured, like I struggled with shaving, in the beginning. I learned to shave and be able to do it because I had places I wanted to go. So, I made sure that I got good at it, but you shouldn't have to do that to feel professional.
So yeah, you're right. And look, ladies and gentlemen, just want to make sure y'all know what we're talking about. We're talking about continuing the talk. All right. And we got Chief Woods on here getting it in. And we went a little bit off topic, but still good conversation talking about regulations. But we're talking about how do you keep that conversation going in your workplace, and even not in your workplace, just on your day to day, because you have to be able to feel comfortable to have uncomfortable conversations, if that makes sense. So that's the deal. So, hey, Chief, so how about this, brother? We all know the new guidance down as far as words you can't use and things like that. How do you continue to have that conversation but not use those words? You get what I'm saying? How do you or how is your team formulating? Or because I do know that there's certain installations that's at a pause X right now when it comes down to DNI. So how are you guys continuing to talk?
Oh, okay.
It's been tough, bro. I will tell you, man, it's been tough because we had a lot of momentum going, and like a lot of grassroots efforts where we were really educating, on civil unrest and creating an environment where we can be our truest selves. And we kind of had to put everything on hold, So what we did, because I was pushing hard to continue the conversation going, we had to work through legal. So we had to work through legal because we got a general order that was pushed down from the Department of Defense. And we had to run it by legal just to make sure that we were cool, that we were meeting the intent of our leaders.
Mm-hmm.
And they looked at a lot of that, some of the stuff had to get scratched because it was kind of borderline.
Yeah.
It was borderline because you can't really have the talk without, man, you got to really dive in and really have the talk, so people can have dialogue on both sides, but we had them look at it and they had to scratch some things. And I'll be honest with you, I'd be lying if I tell you all it wasn't frustrating because, PACAF had just gave us a lot of kudos, being one of the better wings, in the MASCOM for really like creating something that was legit, like it was legit. And we had to, make some changes. But we did, man. It's all about evolving and adjusting to what we need to adjust to. And we adjusted and we still having those conversations, unconscious bias was something that I was real big on, that we continuing to communicate that to our commanders, to our senior enlisted leaders, to our facilitators that's having those small group discussions, at the unit level, and still growing it as we go.
Good. So we got a question from Nicholas.
What up, Nick?
Right. So he says, Chief, is the Air Force equipping our leaders with necessary training to combat racial issues, people across the spectrum with LGBTQ, women in the military, transgender, blacks, etc.?
Man, Nick, so that's a great question, because up until when the civil wrestling started, we wasn't equipping them. And that was the real thing. Like a lot of leaders wasn't saying nothing. And we was taking it like, oh, you on the other side. But when I was talking to a lot of commanders, they wasn't saying anything because they know how to. They didn't know how to say anything. And we don't have any training. So that's when they was telling me that's when I got with my team. I said, we going to create a facilitator training form where we can train, all ranks, on how to have these conversations, give them some do's and don'ts, like for instance, like one of the big things that I would hear from commanders all the time is I don't see color. And we had to train them on like, look, bro.
Yeah.
Say that. Like, look, you're not colorblind, man. When I walk in the room, if you're saying you don't see like a black command chief, like, come on, bro. Like, come on. Now, it might not be a negative thing for you, but it's the reality of the situation. Right. And we had to train them on, unconscious bias, microaggressions, understanding the history, understanding that it's bigger than black and white. And we, the reason that PACAF had really gave us kudos is because we created something that the Air Force was working on. And they said, we were spot on, with training folks on how to be able to address those things. Because again, talking about something that's very uncomfortable for you is challenging for a leader.
Yeah, and like Jay Will is asking, and I thought this too, but don't commanders and chiefs have to go through inclusive training? I think you guys go through unconscious bias training.
No, not like at the level we've been doing it of late.
Okay.
We touched on it just a little bit. Looking at those things, but not like we doing it now. Like we tapped into it a lot deeper. And my boss made it mandatory.
Mhm.
You know, for our commanders, you know, to be able to go through it, you know, and understand how to really have those conversations. Because another thing, you know, when you look at like diversity and inclusion, unconscious bias, microaggressions, but you also got to be able to navigate through conflict, because we have to teach that. We have to teach on navigating from conflict. We got this young man over here, you know, his dad was a police officer, you know, he's Blue Lives Matter, or he sees it from that perspective. You got this kid over here, you know, his cousin just got shot by a cop. He's Black Lives Matter. How do you navigate that conversation? If
Wow.
you would, like, how do you get his perspective and you get his perspective? Because they both very emotional on both sides, like extremely emotional for obvious reasons. This guy's like, my dad's a cop. I want when I come home, I want to see him. This kid over here is saying, you know, y'all keep killing us. What the hell is going on?
Right.
How do you get them? How do you get them to like a place where they can have a civil conversation? And we spend a lot of time on that, you know, like navigating through like conversations that's going to have some conflict, you know, get it to the point where they can speak from a civil perspective, not from an emotional perspective, where they're going to get upset, you know, maybe want to get physical with each other. And we haven't spent a lot of training on that. So we really took a lot of time to navigate through conflict, talk about the history, talk about everything. And it's been something that's evolved. It was a bold move. We was pretty nervous about it when we started talking about, you know, the history of racial challenges in America. That was something that, I'll be honest with you all, when I was kind of looking at the training material, I was like, man, I don't know, man. I don't know. But we did it, you know, it was a bold move. And for the most part, it's been positive. It's been a few people that was kind of uncomfortable with it, but it's been pretty positive overall.
Okay. Well, look, check it out, man. You know what? I hate to say this because I know we getting it in, and it happened last time. He was like, "Yo, I got so much I want to say, man," and because we still got so many other things to. Damn it. Well, look, I'm gonna throw this one question out there, and then I'm gonna let Herm get his last question.
Yeah.
Final word, but it says, and this from To. He says, "What is your goal for the shirts in Kunsan as far as getting them involved in this conversation, especially since they should be on the forefront of this?"
What up, T.O.? That's my dude right there, T.O. Well, I tell them, like I tell you all the time, I didn't mandate that they be a part of the conversation. I just mandated that they find the champions in their unit. Go find the champions. Go find the ones that's passionate about the issue, that really want to get us to what right looks like. Because every first sergeant is not comfortable, you know, with having a conversation. And I'll be going against and contradicting what I tell everybody about being on True Sales if I said you need to go have this conversation. No, if you're uncomfortable with having the conversation, get out in front and say, I'm uncomfortable with having a conversation. But you know your people. And if you know your people and you see Senior Airman Woods over there that really want to get after this, you need to empower that young man or that young woman and let them go out and make change. And you be standing right alongside of them, you know, when you go from there and do that. And also I tell my shirts, look for those different perspectives. Again, black and white issue, no. Has it been heavily focused on black and white? Yes, because we very emotional. We very passionate about what's going on. But it's for everybody, man.
That is true.
It's for everybody. And it usually aligns specific and very similar. But yeah, that's what I tell. That's leaders at all levels. I tell them like be yourself. Me, I'm very comfortable on getting out in front and speaking from my perspective. But everybody's not. And if you're not comfortable with it, that's okay. Like, it's totally okay. Like, we're not expecting all of our leaders, you know, to be totally comfortable with it. We just expecting them to pick a side. You know, you pick a side. Like, you can't just be in the middle toting the line, because when you in the middle toting the line, you're going to lean on a side that's not ethical and not compassionate and not being there for your people and not seeing their perspective. You have to make it clear 100 0. 100 0. I'm 100 for equality. I'm 100 for people being their truest self. And I'm 100 for creating an environment where you can be your truest self. You know, define, develop, and discuss and go from there.
Wow. Yo, said by a true chief. And listen, I don't throw that around loosely because it's not a lot of y'all, for real. I can count on maybe two hands how many true chiefs I know. You know, I'm talking about no millions of y'all. Nevertheless, hey, Big Herm, what you got, bro, for your final word?
So for my final word, I want to talk about unconscious bias.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people look at it like, man, I'm a bad person if they have these things. When I was with the IG team, we would go out on different trips in different areas, and we would have to pick a place to eat. And my first trip, we went out and we was in a black restaurant. Nothing crazy about this place. It was just people in there playing cards, nothing wild or anything like that. It was me and three white dudes, and they were immediately uncomfortable, right? And that became a joke afterwards that I took them into the hood or something like that for a meal. I'm like, that wasn't the hood. It was just a bunch of black people. But their unconscious bias, when they see so many black folks, they think it's hood. But all the other places we go, when there's a whole bunch of white people, that's like normal. That's a normal restaurant to go to. But if you're in there with a whole bunch of black people, then that's not normal. See, that's one of them unconscious biases that we need to be looking at. Like, look, that's there. It's there. You have that. You know what I'm saying? Don't be scared. Don't be scared of it. Address it, and you know, think about why you think that way. Just because you're around a bunch of black people, that it's automatically the hood or the ghetto. It was a nice place. Had good food in there. Just like this other place with a whole bunch of white folks in it. So it doesn't automatically make you a bad person. It makes you a bad person when you don't want to acknowledge it and stick to your guns. Like, nah, that's still the hood, the ghetto. So that's my last word, Chief. I want to thank you for coming on. You're one of the realest people that I've had the pleasure of meeting. I know you're doing great things out there in Kunsan. Got one of the coldest coins I've ever seen.
You got one on the way, man.
Yeah, you got one of the coin. I looked at that joint. I was like, man, only Chief Throwback would have a coin that's so damn cool.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for sharing your time with us today, sharing time with the people. Hopefully everybody got something from it. I know they did. So until next time, Chief.
All right. So what you got, man? What's your final word, Big Chief, man? Getting it in, bro, in the den. One last time, bro. What you got, man?
Hey, man, first off, I want to tell y'all both, I'm so proud of y'all, man, for what y'all doing out with the Lions Den. I'm proud to say I'm one of the first that got on board. I ain't a bandwagon fan when it comes to the Lions Den. Like, I've been involved with this when it wasn't cool to be involved with it. When people were scared to come on platforms like this, I'm like, I'm cool with it. It is what it is, and to see the growth, like to see this production and how professional it is. Like, I'm telling you, man, my advice to anybody out there, if you want to do something, go out there and go do it. And look at the Lions Den as an example of finding your passion and going out there and making it happen. This isn't something that they want to do because, like they obligated, like this is their passion and they want to do that. So I'm very proud of you all for doing that. Thank you all for giving me the platform to where I can, speak on issues from the position that I'm in. Like I said, one of my blessings is that I'm in a position of influence when the Air Force is so hungry for change. The Air Force is extra hungry for change. And the things that I'm advising people on, like we're making change like here. Like my commander the other day just sat me down and was like, I couldn't have picked a better chief, to be in the position that we're in right now. And thank you, and I'm very proud of that. And last but not least, I want to encourage all leaders at all levels, whether you are airman basic or whether you are general, like speak up on the issues from the perspective of your truest self. It's okay to say, I don't know what to say right now. It's okay to say everything, you know, and everything you want to do. But be your truest self, because we're gonna see right through it. You know, if you fake or phony, or you saying things that's not true, or you just trying to tote that line. Stop toting the damn line, man. Pick a side, you know, either you with people being them truest selves and creating a sense of belonging, or you're not. And then for the ones that's really emotional and passionate about it, I've talked on it a few times. Like, let's graduate from it being, you know, a black and white issue, and let's move it on to everybody, because they all really align in the same area, the same area. Again, we was hurting inside as black folk. Like, we was hurting inside. We were very passionate about the issue, and because of that, that came to the forefront. But me being on the ground truth and talking to people, man, it's a lot more that we need to discuss, and we need to continue to discuss that. So appreciate you, School. Appreciate you, Herm. I'm gonna be the first one to be on here 3 times, man.
Yo,
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Man. I'm gonna be on here 3 times, man. Y'all always know, man. It's an open invite. You know, whenever y'all need me to chop it up with you all, I'm always gonna be there. So I appreciate that. Keep doing great things. Hey, we in the Lions Den, man. This ain't for the fake.
Hey. Yo. Already, you know what it is. And again, man, on behalf of everybody, the whole team, man, I do thank you, not just for coming on the Den, because the invitation is only open to the real, number one, and you know that. But the main thing is, thank you for what you're doing to those that don't have the voice. You get what I'm saying? Thank you for those that want to say what they don't feel like they have the courage to say, or they don't know how to say it. So I want to thank you. This type of energy was few and far in between when I was coming up. You feel me? So when I did see a little bit of it, I gravitated directly to it. But I'm glad that you are where you are, because you are like your commander said, and like your teammate said, he couldn't have picked a better one right now, bro. So big kudos to you. You know what I mean? Yes, my man. So listen, everybody, look, I know we a little bit past time. Y'all go on and watch the game or whatever. But look, we do thank y'all for taking time out and with us on the Lions Den. And hopefully you took something from this. Please share this. Give us your comments. And if there's anybody you think, watch this. It's the first time I think I'm gonna say this, Herm. If there's anybody you think that's Lion Den material, holla at us and let us know, right? Because ultimately, we are a part of, our emphasis is leadership, growth, and development. Okay. Yeah. If you see someone doing that, no matter what the capacity is, let's bring them on, because we need to elevate our people. Right. And he said, it's not black or white, it's right and wrong. You feel me? And so that's what we're here to do. But look, we love y'all. Hey, but Chief, again, bro, thanks for getting in with us, man. So you can go and, go and get your food for breakfast and everything.
Hey, thanks, Chief.
Yeah, but no, thank you for being on, brother. And everybody there, we love y'all. We gonna see y'all next week. All right, holla.